Oscar Bevis, IFL TV MTK Global. Mr. Michael Mckinson joins me via Zoom. How are we, mate?
Yes, Oscar, very well, very well.
The enthusiasm. This is take 3. Sunday, so everyone in my house is my brother's playing Xbox, my old man's trying to use a Sky Go, so we're having a bit of a mare, but we're here. Straight into the talking points from last night. Big developments in the £147 division, your division, of course. Josh Kelly stopped in 6 by David Avanesyan. Prior to last night, Mikey, what was your gut feeling on this fight?
Ever since the first fight was made, I've actually backed Avanesyan to win by late stoppage, and it was only this week, like I admit, I was a believer in the Josh Kelly train this week, and I actually bet on Kelly last minute. 3 days, for about over a year, I've backed Avanesyan. The last 3 days, I completely changed my mind. I see the shape he was in, see how confident he was, and I thought he could pull it off. I was wrong.
Well, before we talk about the fight and the tactics and whatnot, he's 26, Josh, and obviously hindsight's a wonderful thing. Was this a mismatch of experience, or is it something we should be praising? You know, he's put his nuts on the line, and there's no shame in coming up short. It happens in the sport to 99% of fighters.
Yeah, firstly, let's just say David Avanesyan is a world-class fighter. He's a proven world-class fighter. 2 knockout wins over Kerman Haraga, since winning this European, and now a knockout win over Josh Kelly. So let's not take nothing away from Avanesyan. But when Josh Kelly first turned pro, he was on that pedestal straight away. He was going to be a world champion in 10 pro fights and all of this. And then, obviously, he didn't look great when he got the draw out in America. And since then, people have been writing him off a little bit. People have not been believing in the Josh Kelly hype as much as what they did before. So I reckon he had something to prove, definitely. And I really do think he was confident he can pull it off. Like Josh Kelly, as far as skill set and technical ability, Josh Kelly is world class. I've sparred him a few times. He is different class. But you got to be more than that when you're in there against them world class fighters. You know, for 3 rounds. If this was in the Olympics and the amateurs, he would have won that. But Avanesyan caught up with him quick, and then body shots really played a part, I think. So there's no shame in it. Josh Kelly is still I believe he's one of our top tier welterweights, still, and I think he will come again.
Is it as simple looking at it, Mikey, when you think, like you said, the first 3 rounds is the Olympics, he'd have won. He won every second of every round. David was like a pest. He was on him. Josh was keeping his range and some nice hooks to the body and whatnot. But is it just as simple as when it's the pros, you have to maintain it for 12 rounds, and it's just hard to maintain it for 12 rounds. It just looked almost like an impossible job in the 5th and 6th round.
Yeah, cool. It changed very quickly, didn't it? But Josh has gone from, he hasn't really had any stepping stones to world level, really, except the Ray Robinson fight. He hasn't had any stepping stones to world level. David Avanesyan's a world-class fighter, and obviously he had to learn the hard way there. Very quickly as well. But like I said, there is no shame in losing to somebody like David Avanesyan. Let's not hide about the fact that a lot of people backed Avanesyan to beat Josh Kelly in the first place anyway. But yeah, he's gone from fighting this level to this level quick. And this ain't sparring, and this ain't 3-round fights, So he had to learn the hard way.
Even on commentary, Adam Smith mentioned it a couple of times, and people have questioned it at times. And I suppose you'll probably be part of the club who says that power isn't the most important thing in the world. And it's not. It's obviously a get-out clause. If you're losing a fight, you can throw a big shot and chin somebody. But his power was questioned at times. You said, obviously, you sparred him, so you'll know how hard he hits. Is that something that worries you surrounding Josh's power?
No, not really. I've sparred him a couple of times, and he is a big welterweight. He's a big physical welterweight. I've sparred a lot of people. And even so, there have been many world champions that weren't big punchers. Many world champions. That's not a big issue, I don't think, for him at all. I don't know how he done the weight, because he is a big welterweight, and it seemed like he'd done the weight really well. He looked in great shape. So I don't know. Has he got to move up, or or genuinely, like, he found the levels a massive difference really quickly?
Well, it'll be disappointing if he does have to move up, because I know you're licking your lips at the amount of good welters we've got in this country. And but yeah, are we seeing this all too often? As soon as someone suffers a defeat and they look even a little bit big for the weight, people will go, "Oh, move him up, move him up." But it doesn't have to be the case.
No, maybe not. We don't know. We don't see him like jumping on the scales. He might not even be as big as what we think he is, like, on the scales. You know, like, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. But what a time it is to be a welterweight! Like, what a time it is to be a welterweight! Like, obviously, we don't know if Kell Brook's like gonna fight again, or if he is gonna fight at welterweight. That is a massive question in itself. So take him out of the equation. Who's top of the tree domestically?
Am I looking at him? Am I looking at him?
Me now. BoxRec said, you know, I'll put it, and BoxRec said so within minutes after.
I was going to say, Avanesyan's hand hadn't even been raised, and I saw you put a screenshot of the rankings. So obviously, Kelly slipped down, and you consider yourself now, take out the guys who've been in and around world level for a good couple of years, you consider yourself the number one welterweight in this country?
I really do believe I am, Oscar. But with this fight against Congo in 5 weeks now, I'll get to prove it, because Congo's a great fighter, you know? And once I beat Congo, I'll get to prove that I am the best fighter in the UK. It's wide open at the moment. It is wide open, and there's a lot of talent, a lot of welterweights making noise at the moment. So I'm buzzing to finally have my name in the mix.
Yeah, I want to come on to the development surrounding the location for the Congo fight. Just one more thing on Avanesyan. World level is what people are putting forward now. And, you know, I don't think anyone will turn their nose up at seeing him get a shot at one of the champions. Stylistically, who would you want to see him in with? Because I know governing bodies, rankings and that, it'll be matched. But, yeah, who would you want to see him in with? Because I think stylistically, he makes for someone who can just be entertaining.
As in for a world title, one of the 3 world champions?
Yeah. Who would you prefer, just from a fan's point of view?
Crawford. I'd love to see him. But yeah, I'd love to. Whoever who fights for a world title at welterweight is a massive ask, you know. But I'd like to see him against the big. He deserves one of them fights. Like, obviously, he was world champion before, but since winning European title, like, he's had 2 great knockouts over Kerman Leheraga, who I've been out in Spain in one of the camps, like, for one of them fights with Kerman, and like, that is a great win. And then obviously a great win over Josh Kelly. So I think he deserves a world title fight.
Right, Florian Marku. Now, just before we talk about his performance, I want to talk about the Sky interview, because I know you'll have something to say. And I know for a fact, Mikey, that you've seen it.
Yeah. Well, when he said he didn't know who I was.
Michael Mckinson.
I don't know him.
Like, he said he didn't know who Michael McKinson was, but he's obviously not looking further enough up the rankings. You know, he's calling these names that are now below me. You know, he's not looking further enough up the rankings. Like, if he doesn't know me, he doesn't know me. He will do on the 27th of March, won't he? So it is what it is. Like, congratulations to Florian Marku on his victory. He looked a lot better than he did just before Christmas. Just before Christmas. But let's not forget, he's still only had, what, 9 fights. So good luck to him. Good luck to his career. Like, I ain't got anything bad to say about him whatsoever. He will know who I am in a matter of weeks, 100%. But if he does want to know who I am, tell him to look a bit further up the rankings.
Well, look, I know obviously he's calling for the Conor Benn fight, and Conor's come out and said, look, can you blame him? Of course he wants a Conor Benn fight. Let's be realistic. You're a man who I know would be interested in the Conor Benn fight, not looking past Chris. But, yeah, do you think Conor should entertain that? Because it is, at some point, it'll be something I suppose you can't ignore, because he's a pest floor and he's going to keep banging on about it until he hopes to land it. So is it something that Conor should ignore? Because at the moment, he's, of course, levels above where Florian has fought.
Everybody in that welterweight division wants the Conor Benn fight. Like, this has been me in that for the last 4 years nearly, you know? So you can't really say anything bad about Conor Benn either. He's turned pro. everybody on his back, everybody wanting him to lose, everybody wanting to fight him. And every single time he's took it all on the chin and he's improved every time and he's beat whoever he's been put in front of him. So you can't really disrespect or say anything bad about Conor Benn. Like, I know that this interview, I haven't really been the typical Michael Mckinson and being disrespectful and calling out outspoken to guys, but they've got my respect, you know. Like, I've got my fight now. I've got my foot through the door now. Like, I'm fully focused on Chris. Once I get the job done in Gibraltar, then I can, you know what I'm going to be like straight after, you know? So if the fight's like, but I truly believe once I beat Chris Congo, Eddie's not going to want me anywhere near Conor Benn. But it doesn't matter. I'm there, though. I'm there, you know?
Well, look, that was the... that was the headline I used last time. Obviously, you said Eddie won't want you anywhere near Conor Benn. Just quickly going back to the Florian Marku fight. You said he looked so much better, and he did. Do you feel like, I don't know, because obviously the level of opponent was stepped up as well. Is he going to be one of them fighters who needs an increase in opponents so we see better of him? Because he had more pop in his shots. He looks a lot better on his feet. Can that change in such a short space of time, or is he one of them fighters who needs a better opponent to see a better version?
Yeah, Roland was a better opponent than obviously Box last time, but they're completely different styles, both of them. Like, I thought Marku would win. I thought he looked good doing it yesterday. But styles do make fights. He might struggle against the back foot guy, the back foot awkward guy that's making him miss miles. Because do you know what I like about Florian, right? He's vulnerable. He got dropped yesterday, so he's gonna be in good fights. Like, he's gonna be in good fights. Like, and there's lots of welterweight names. He'll fight anyone, obviously. He wants the big names, but he would fight anyone. But I think Florian's gonna be in some really good, decent domestic fights down the line because he is vulnerable.
And obviously, we mentioned Florian's chasing Conor. Do you think there's interest in Josh and Conor? Because I suppose that was meant to be like the natural path. Perhaps Josh comes through Samuel Vargas. Conor comes through Samuel Vargas. Josh comes through David, and there's a path where they meet and headline a show in the summer, perhaps. Do you think there's interest in that still, or is that lost for Josh?
I don't think it's. I think it's still a big fight. They're both they're the two biggest names in the welterweight division in Britain. It still makes sense. Like, just because Josh has had a loss now, he lost to a world class fighter in my eyes. So Conor Benn ain't that level yet whatsoever. And I think Josh Kelly still beats Conor Benn. Like, I think he does beat him quite comfortably, but still a big fight, and it's a great fight for the public, and it will sell 100%. So I think they can still get it on.
You think David beats Conor straight up?
Yeah. I think David beats Conor. I think David knocks Conor out. That's not being disrespectful to Conor. He's improved a heck of a lot. He has improved a heck of a lot. I don't necessarily think. I think the media and people will try and hype the Vargas fight up to be another step up for Conor, when I don't necessarily think that's the case. But yeah, Conor's doing his thing. Anyone wants that fight with Conor Benn. Like, let him carry on doing his thing. Like, you know, it's good to see, because he's had a lot of stick off of a lot of people since the minute he turned pro. He turned pro a novice and a young boy, and he has got a lot of stick in his career and stuff like that. And, like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to fight him. All of these guys would love to fight him, but you've got to show him respect, because he is improving a heck of a lot.
Yeah, well, enough about the other welterweights. Let's talk about yourself, Gibraltar. That's mad, isn't it? That's fucking madness.
Yeah, mate. Like, it don't really matter where it is, like, as long as the fight's still on, you know.
Does it not add a bit of spice for you, though? Come on, Rumble on the Rocks as well.
I've never fought, like, abroad ever as an amateur or or a pro. I've fought in obviously Belfast about 4 times, but that's as far as I've ever been, like as in boxing terms. So it is exciting, but I think just being on the platform is exciting enough with this fight. So this is just a bonus. I think the extra 3 weeks is a bonus for me. Like people are saying, like you've had 6 weeks for the biggest fight of your life on the biggest platform. I haven't had 6 weeks. I've had 26 years for this. I've been in boxing my whole life. I've sacrificed my whole life since young for this moment, you know. So yeah, the extra 3 weeks is a bonus. It's the same vision. It's going to be the same result. And yeah, we're excited. You coming over, Oscar?
It won't be me. It will be Cougs, obviously, because Dillian's main eventing. But mate, I wish. Have you heard did you see what Eddie said earlier about the whole protocol for Gibraltar?
No.
Oh, mate, what it seems like it's going to be is you're going to test in the Hilton, then you're going to get minibus to a chartered private flight. You're going to fly out to Gibraltar. I mean, do you have to sort of take that razzmatazz away? Do you have to, because like you said, it is still a fight, whether it's in Michael McKinson's back garden or Gibraltar. Do you have to take that away? Because as much as I'm sitting there going, God, you get chartered flights and all this, do you just have to take that away? Because it's still you and Chris in there.
Yeah, it was a matter of time anyway. I was born for stuff like this. Like I just hope TV, Sky, they're all ready for Michael McKinson, you know, because I've been waiting for this moment for a long, long time. So yeah, it is mad how things have changed, and it's really bizarre. But I've got a job to do, and that's my main focus, you know, and that is my main focus. But it was a matter of time. It was.
And just quickly, like you said, the 3 weeks is a bonus, but I suppose camps about, and Adam and Josh said this a lot in the week, and so did Neil and David, like camps about peaking at the right time. So
Yeah.
there isn't a danger that, and I know you probably wouldn't say it anyway, but there's not a danger that you've almost not hit your peak, but you're hitting them heights now, and them last 3 weeks are going to be a bit of a ball. Like them last 3 weeks suit you anyway.
Yeah. I've done a lot over the last 4 weeks, so I'm on a couple of decent rest days at the moment. My dad knows what's best for me. I've been in longer camps than this before. Like this, just think this is a 9-week camp. Like nothing's really changed. I've been getting good sparring. My weight's very good. But like I said, I'm not going to lose any more weight right now because my weight's very good. Like everything will all come together at the end, and it's all about timing. So I've got a great team around me to help me time everything right, peak right at the end. Because in my fights, I've had good sparring. I've been doing really good in sparring for this camp, yeah. But I've always performed so much better on the night anyway. Everything always comes together at the last moment for me. So yeah, like I've got a good team around me to tell me when I need to have an extra couple of days rest, like when I need to maybe cut a little bit more weight. But right now, everything's perfect.
Yeah. And one thing quickly about the fans, I know Eddie said earlier as well, I know you said you didn't see it about the potential that fans might be able to come over. I'm sure the Pompey lot will be paying backhanders to the GPs to get vaccinated and get out there, because I'm sure following Mikey McKinson on the Rock, mate, I'm sure you're going to have messages inundated when the ticket details come out.
Everybody asks me every day, Oscar. Every day. Like, it's hard. But even if they can't or whatever, I win this, and every show after is going to be one of them big ones. It's winner stays on, isn't it? Is that the motto? Winner stays on.
Well, you'd hope so between you and Chris, because surely the winner is looking towards mega fights. Like, don't want to put things, I don't want to try and piece your career, but if you win and David doesn't get a world title fight, surely you look at going for the European title.
Deserve it. Like this is the best domestic fight in the lightweight division for a while. The winner of this fight deserves a big fight. So winner stays on. It's got to be winner stays on.
Love it. Well, look, thanks for jumping on with me. I know it's been a pain a bit, but yeah, just how mouthful. I just can't. It's such a good division. It's got to be the best domestically. I love it so much. There's so much going on. We had last week. We got Conor coming up. You and Chris, and yeah, God knows what it's going to be like when the year's up. Because I'm sure we're going to have had even more mouth-watering fights.
Yeah, give a little mention to that. Who won the English title the other day? Samuel Antwi. He got a good win on the weekend. He's broken into the top 10. I know that for a while he was calling me out. He was a name that was calling me out for a while.
I think I interviewed him when he called you out, actually.
Yeah, nobody ever called me out, really. And he's one that did. So fair play to him. It's good to see him getting a bit of success now as well. Him getting the fights. So yeah, like I've got nothing but good words for everyone in the division right now, because it's a great time to be a welterweight. Great fights to be made. I've got more fight to focus on right now, but around us, let's all fight each other.
Just one more thing, actually. Do you feel like your mentality's changed? Because I know you said a minute ago, like, it's a different Michael McKinson because you've got your fight. The sort of trash talking or the smack talk stops. Is that how you feel as well? Because you are coming, I feel like, with a different energy. Because it used to be, if I interview you, I know you're going to gun for people. Is it a different mentality now?
I've got my fight. Like, I've got my chance on the big stage. The one thing that I've been frustrated about for a long time, like, is getting names, and I deserve one of the big names. And I've been a pro. I'm in my 7th year. I've just done my 7th professional boxing medical. So, like, it's not as if I've been about for a couple of years. I've been about a long time, and I'm finally here. So yeah, like, I don't need to go out being outspoken, disrespecting this fighter, because I've got what I want right now, and I'm grateful.
Good stuff. Well, like I said, thanks for jumping on with me, and yeah, bring on Gibraltar, bring on the Rock.
After I get the job done, Oscar, we'll do another interview, and then I'll be old Mikey again for you. No worries.
But you'll be coming for Errol Spence, Terence Crawford.
100%.